Idaho is known for its soaring mountains, deep canyons, and gorgeous rivers. But while you're out enjoying the Gem State's wonders, don't forget to look down.
Daddy, yes, dear? Come here. Find the one that I like.
Fossils, brilliant opal, colorful agates, and of course the famous 6-ray star garnet are just under the surface, waiting to be discovered. And those who are passionate about rock hounding are happy to share their secrets.
No two rocks are the same. No two opals are the same. And even in the same rock, same opal, you'll get different layers, and every layer is different.
Well, I think the draw to rock hounding is twofold. It's anticipation. You never know what you're going to find out there. There's always something to find.
And the hobby also offers another way to introduce kids to the outdoors.
Did you find that? Pretty cool.
Outdoor Idaho takes you across the state to explore rock hounding and the riches it can offer.
Funding for Outdoor Idaho is made possible by the Friends of Idaho Public Television, by the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation, committed to fulfilling the Moore's legacy of helping to build the great state of Idaho, and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
I stumbled upon this quartz outcropping a few years ago while gathering firewood near my home. You know, quartz can be a pretty good indicator that you're in gold country. Hi, I'm Bruce Reichert, and welcome to Outdoor Idaho. You know, obviously, Idaho has all kinds of rocks: quartz, Bruno jasper, garnets, opals, sapphires. And further north, above Moscow, there's a sedimentary rock that holds a special treasure: fossils from a decidedly different time in the state's development. It's proof that rock hounding is so much more than gathering gemstones. And it's proof that you never really know what lies just below the surface. The Clarkia Fossil Bowl in North Idaho provides a unique getaway for rockhounds. The prize, a guaranteed bounty of fossils. In 1972, the excavation of a snowmobile and dirt bike track revealed thousands of perfectly preserved fossils from an ancient lake where Clarkia is today.
In 1972, when my dad cut this hillside down here to build half the snowmobile track, he hit these fossils. Found it very interesting, so he called up the University of Idaho. And Jack Smiley came out here to see what Dad was talking about. So once Jack Smiley told Dad that, he says, "Mr. Kingbaum, you must understand one thing. There's only been 2 people in the world to have ever seen this. I'm going to say that you're the second person. I'm the first one because I'm going to tell you what it is."
In the hillside sediment, Smiley found thousands of fossils of leaves, acorns, and flowers. Property owner Francis Keenbaum continued to build his snowmobile and dirt bike track, but he set aside a chunk of his property to allow the public to dig and take home fossils. More than 40 years later, the Keenbaum family continues to operate both the track and the dig site. Lucky visitors can expect an expert tour from one of the Keenbaum boys.
These fossils are 15 million years old, and there are butter knives down there, and what you want to do is you take them and you split them and open them up like you're opening the pages of a book.
Hold this, please.
The Clarkia fossils aren't just impressions like the majority of fossils you've seen in museums. The sediment contains the actual leaves and plant matter that settled into the lake bed millions of years ago, creating an academic playground for scientists like Dave Tank of the University of Idaho.
Here, because of how deep this lake was, it had very high sedimentation rates and an anoxic environment. The preservation is really spectacular, and they're actually preserving the leaf tissue itself. And so as we're opening these up, you're not looking at an impression of the leaf, you're actually looking at the leaf that fell into this lake 15 million years ago.
The exciting thing
There's a
is,
nice fall color in that one right there. which that'll turn black.
Exciting thing is that that's the first time in 15 million years that's seen the light of day. Yeah. It's been covered up for that long.
Cracking open the soft layers requires nothing more than a flat blade or two, plus some newspapers in which to wrap and store the damp fossils.
Fossil sites are quite common. You could spend a whole day working and only find one or two things. Here, as you've seen, every rock you split open, you're going to find multiple different fossils.
The abundance and diversity of the Clarkia fossils draws visitors from around the world, luring everyone from amateur rockhounds and fossil collectors to scientists from NASA and abroad. Paleobotanist Bill Rember has studied the Clarkia fossils for decades, and he's developed a method for lifting full leaves out of the sediment, allowing him to study life that first saw the sun 15 million years ago. For Rember, cracking open the rocks is like paging through a delicate book, with pictures that tell the stories of North Idaho's ancient biological history.
And I've been a voracious reader all my life, and those are like books. And it's a book that nobody else has ever read, and that's pretty exciting. The physical aspect of the stratigraphy, like the volcanic ash layers and the underwater landslides, if you use those, you can get some information there. It's like the physical setting of a novel, whereas the biology, the leaves, you put those on it, and that's like the characters in the novel, and it tells you a story about what was here 15 million years ago.
Yeah, so I've never come out here and spent more than 15 minutes and not found something that I haven't seen before.
Very seldom do you ever find anything inside these thick clay layers. And I just happened to break one open, and there's this leaf in it.
And a couple seeds. And that's one of the things that makes this site pretty cool, is that it is open to the public. And so people able to come out here and dig for fossils is, I think, something everyone should do. It's an amazing thing.
Just down the road from the fossil bowl, the 6-ray star garnet, Idaho's most famous gem, is found in a small Latah County creek.
So you ready to get a little bit dirty and a little bit hot?
Yeah.
To dig for garnet?
Yeah.
Have we bought garnet at the rock shop before?
No.
I don't think so. So we can actually go dig our own. And the only other place you can get them besides northern Idaho is India.
The Emerald Creek Garnet area is accessible and kid-friendly, making a perfect day trip for the Wallace family of Moscow. But it takes some prep for an afternoon in the forest with 4 children.
She's part of Smoky Mackerel.
The U.S. Forest Service manages the site and provides all the equipment needed to find a bag full of 12-sided garnets to take home. Before visitors dig in, an employee gives them a brief overview of what they're looking for.
And they're also very strong as a diamond. So you can break something apart with your hand, it's not a garnet. And pretty much you guys are going to be looking for the black kind of stone, or depending on how fractured they are, you might really see the purple, because the garnets we have up here are purple.
Okay.
The process starts with filling large buckets with shovelfuls of dirt, which the Forest Service hauls to the site by the truckload from the nearby creek.
Do that.
Then visitors take their buckets to a shaded area to sift through the gravel. Screens separate the soil and smaller rocks from the larger stones. Finally, diggers take their rocks for a quick rinse, helping them sort out the prized garnets. It takes a little patience and a sharp eye to spot the red and purple rocks, but with some practice, most quickly catch on.
See, those are gorgeous, huh?
While skill and experience can help with rock hounding, some of the best finds are the result of a little luck. Janet Hartzog of the U.S. Forest Service recalls a story of an 8-year-old boy who was playing with Tonka trucks at the site's dirt pile and found a huge garnet.
Oh, right here.
As he goes by, a gentleman says, "I'll give you $50 for that." He stops for a minute, thinks it over, and that, you could just see the wheels turning. And nah, he said, you can find your own. It was 8 ounce, probably the most beautiful garnet I've ever seen in that time. And he was building a road.
Emerald Creek draws rockhounders from all over the world. Some are passionate about garnets and gems. Others are passing through and looking for a nice activity for the family.
It's just really easy to do it with the kids. Lots of stuff for them to do. There's toys for the younger ones to play with if they're so inclined.
As long as you are patient and have a careful eye over when you're rinsing your rocks, it's actually quite easy. They do a good job showing you what you're looking for. I didn't think we'd find this many, and I was surprised that they let us go more than once. I thought we were going to get one scoop of dirt and then be told it's time to go.
It's an opportunity for kids who live in urban areas to experience the outdoors. And it's an adventure because you're searching for a treasure or a dirty old rock, depends on how you look at it. And it's a good family activity because it's concentrated enough that parents can do it, keep an eye on the kid at the same time.
Either a big empty bucket or one of these.
As for the Wallace family, overall the kids enjoyed the experience, despite the stinging bees.
I think Anne had fun digging.
Put it over the bucket part?
I think John was good until things started flying around.
I was on a 4-year no bee sting streak, and that bee that stung me just broke the streak.
Jane seems to float around from place to place and kind of lose interest in each spot, have to circle back around.
It's my bad time to put these.
No. Max is really into it. Max is the rock kid and the scavenger, and he really likes it. He's still going, the rest of us are done. It was neat to come check it out and see what it was all about, and maybe we could try that in some different areas for some different rocks. But I'm glad we came. I'm glad we checked it out, especially since it's such a rare thing and only in Idaho. It would be awful to live here and never try something like that.
Eastern Idaho offers its own treasures for rockhounds. While opal is common in North America, the small town of Spencer is home to some of the rarest varieties in the world, with naturally occurring pinks and yellows. And one of the opal mines has been in Claudia Kucher's family since the 1960s.
Through a friend of a friend, my mom and dad found out about this property and came down and looked at it and found out it was for sale and wound up purchasing half and then the other half before we opened it up there.
At first, tourists and rockhounds were allowed to visit the site. Now, because of cost and liability issues, Claudia's husband, AJ, brings truckloads of tailings into town for paying customers. That added safety allows for family-friendly visits and field trips from local schools. Occasionally, Claudia's grandsons step in to help.
Okay, let's see. Yes. That is our rarest opal. We have the only pink bed in the world, I think. It's where the iron deposit seeps into the opal, and it turns it into a natural pink color. So here you can keep that. See, it's right there, and right there, right there.
So what we have around here is a lot of volcanic type formation.
Field trips at the Spencer Opal Shop include a short geology lesson and the chance for kids to get dirty while sifting through the rock pile.
It was a little muddy, but that's okay. I've been muddy before.
Not one.
It's fun.
Recently, the Kuchers have noticed more interest in rockhounding from kids and young families.
We've seen a change in rockhounding, but we're also seeing a comeback. Younger people are starting to get involved. At our store, we get a tremendous amount of families because we keep the price down and we encourage people to come and dig opal. It's one of the few places you could actually dig your own gemstone and have it finished up for you and have it for generations.
The dig site may be family friendly, but collectors can still find high-quality opals that can fit into stunning pieces of jewelry. But coaxing delicate earrings and pendants from rough stones takes practice. And over the years, A.J. Kuchar has honed his lapidary skills. It takes some work and comfort with a spinning blade to take coarse pieces of rhyolite and opal and turn them into tiny heirlooms.
That's probably about enough on that one. Go a little bit too much, then grind down through the colors.
After the stone is polished, A.J. hands it off to Claudia. She assesses the opals. Some she tops with quartz to make pieces called doublets. Others, called triplets, end up with black backings to bring out the natural sparkle of the gem.
No two rocks are the same. No two opals are the same. And even in the same rock, same opal, you'll get different layers, and every layer is different. So where you're grinding and working on one, you will run into, oh wow, this is really fantastic, and then you'll finish it out and maybe make a triplet out of it, and the next layer under it is 5 times better.
Claudia and A.J. have worked the mine for a generation. Still, the thrill of sifting through rocks and finding the treasures they hide keeps them here in this tiny Clark County town.
My favorite part is still the mining part of it, because to be the first one to see that piece when it comes out of the ground is just indescribable. Until you've done it yourself, it's like, oh, you know, opal fever is like gold fever. You're the first one to actually get to see that stone and know that it's something exceptional and rare and that nobody else has got to see it first.
My grandsons work with me. They're presently 10, 13, and 14. And I've been taking them to the mine since they were 6 years old. And what stands out in my mind is that when they find some really super hot pieces of opal, you could hear on the whole mountain yelling and dancing and jumping up and down.
Like the Kuchars, the Stewart family of Boise has a rock hounding legacy, thanks to patriarch Dudley Stewart.
So in 1951, he pioneered and discovered our state gemstone, the Idaho Star Garnet. And it was in the late 60s that he had it lobbied through legislation to become our state stone. He discovered the Graveyard Point plume agate and named it. He also named the original Owyhee pitcher jasper. And then he also named Morrisonite jasper.
Today, Dudley's grandson, Brent, carries on that tradition at Stewart's Gem Shop, cutting and polishing rocks for customers. But his true passion is looking for the same rocks his grandfather started searching for 70 years ago.
Because there's always something out there to find, you know, that keeps you coming back.
In the Owyhees that straddle the Oregon-Idaho border, Brent and fellow rockhounder Greg Biebel often team up to hunt for fossils, petrified wood, and blue jasper. Unlike Brent, Greg Biebel got into rockhounding later in life, but is just as passionate about the hobby.
Well, I think the draw to rockhounding is twofold. It's anticipation. You never know what you're going to find out there. There's always something to find. But the beauty too, the animals, the wildlife, the serenity out here. There's nobody out here. You hear the only thing you hear is the wind, and it's beautiful.
Nearby, Graveyard Point is a favorite spot for Willow Rankin of the Owyhee Gem and Mineral Society and the Madsen family of Boise. They're willing to brave the wind and the heat for a chance at finding a keepsake.
Hey, Daddy.
Yes, dear?
Come here.
found the one that I like.
Did you find that? Pretty cool.
We can load up in the car and go for an afternoon, and the kids get to be out and playing, and it's fun to just wander around and be out in nature and let them be a part of something bigger.
Unlike the managed sites at Emerald Creek and Spencer, looking for agate and jasper requires familiarity with the desert and some rock hounding know-how.
So sometimes it's hard to differentiate between what's a good rock and what's a bad rock. This is a piece of agate versus this is a piece of rhyolite, and uncertainty can be resolved by giving it a light chip with a hammer and chip a little flake off. It reveals a better pattern that can be seen to ensure that it's a rock worth taking home and trying to do something with.
For beginners, the hobby is accessible and affordable.
Get out of the car, get your hammer, bucket, come down to the spot, and depending on what you're looking for, sometimes you dig, sometimes you, like in this area, you find a seam, try and not break the seam, but get it out of there. It really depends on where you're at and what you're looking for.
Rock hounding is very simple. I met Brent and I joined the Idaho Rock and Gem Club, and many members there are willing to take you out. They have excursions twice a month where they take field trips, and they'll show you, they'll lend you their equipment if you don't have equipment. They'll show you what you're looking for, show you where to dig, get you interested in it. They have machinery there that you can actually, saws that you can use to cut your material, and everybody's willing to help.
For some outings, a basic understanding of the area's geology helps.
So this is kind of a more typical example of how the agate seams are formed in here, with the rhyolite being the main rock. And then there were gaps in it throughout the life of the rock, either when the uplift happened or whenever it was created.
Though the rocks on the surface have been picked over for decades, there is still potential for a big find.
But it's there. They said it was all gone as of 30 years ago. Well, maybe everything on the top surface, and I kind of have my reservations about that one ever being true. But if you get in an area where you find, like I said, the float and start following it, especially areas that aren't traversed as much, you'll find some really nice stuff.
Perhaps the most difficult aspect of rock hounding is keeping track of the rules and making sure you don't accidentally wander onto someone else's mining claim.
And this is getting to be more and more so because BLM is changing a lot of the laws and the statutes of the land itself. You need to know where you're going, not only in reference to mine ownership and being on other people's claims, but being out in the BLM areas anyway. There's certain things you can pick up.
Any Forest Service would have, office would have a map that you could get that would show open sites, and there's lots of good books around, like roadside geologies, things that you can look at, you know, that now are available so that you can go into safely without having to trespass and damage other people's property.
While Idaho rockhounders are passionate about their hobby, Boise artist and jeweler Mike Rogers has his doubts. Rogers specializes in custom high-end jewelry and isn't convinced that Idaho deserves the Gem State nickname.
I think it's odd. I think it's a misnomer, and I mean, for all the things we should be known for, gems, where's the gem companies in Idaho? There's not any. I don't see it.
Oh, I'd argue against that. We have more rocks and gems in it than any other state in the lower 48.
There's no real gemstone mines going on here that I'm aware of. We have no cutters, no manufacturing.
When people come into the store and they say, so why are we the gem state? And I like to pull out a panel that has all the way from amethyst, star sapphires, star garnets, lemon yellow opal, faceted garnets, topaz, smoky quartz, white quartz, to your agates, jaspers, petrified woods.
And whether you agree that Idaho deserves the title the Gem State, the most dedicated rockhounds say it's the thrill of the hunt that keeps them going year after year.
It's just so beautiful, you don't have to find anything. Just look around you and the beauty out here.
God's created an awful lot of really cool stuff out in a dingy little place like the desert. And if you can find beauty in the desert, you can find beauty anywhere. And there's a lot of beautiful things in the desert, especially in the springtime and the fall. It's a lot of gratification to find something, take it out of the earth, take it home, cut it, polish it, and make it into something or into a piece of jewelry that you could wear and actually know that you created the whole thing.
Oh, look at all of those in there.
It is a hobby that everyone can do, right from kids that are old enough to go out and collect a rock.
There's no secrets. People are willing to help. Rocks are everywhere. You just have to find them.
Funding for Outdoor Idaho is made possible by the Friends of Idaho Public Television, by the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation, committed to fulfilling the Moores' legacy of helping to build the great state of Idaho, and by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.